Look at this part of it. Let's just see. What does that look like?
Some hay.
Have you been to Hawaii?
No.
Don't they?
No.
Where do they grow coconuts?
Oh, in any place
Yeah, Florida.
tropical.
There you go. They're in Florida.
Right.
Right.
Look at that.
Do you think you can grow things in that?
And like this is like grass.
It is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And it's actually what we call, it's not a soil. Yeah, it's right. It's like hay. It's not a soil. It's what we call a substrate. So it's just a place where the roots can settle. That's all it is. And that's actually the hairs of a coconut. They pull the hair off coconut and they let it settle for a couple of years. And what we like about using it is that it's very environmentally friendly. So it's not like you're using, a lot of growers use, they use peat. Have you heard about the peat bogs in Europe? So these are these thousands and thousands year old, how would you describe it? It's kind of like, South African word would be a flay, but like a marshland. And it's got this soil in it. And they extract that because it's got such good water holding capacity. The problem is that you're ruining the environment doing it.
By ripping that out.
Yeah. So this is environmentally friendly. And basically what we do is these drippers.
You see those drippers in there?
So this is what controls it. This delivers, makes sure that it brings the same pressure out of this pipe, the same every single time. So this dripper here will only deliver 2 liters of water per hour. So it's 33 milliliters a minute. Okay, so it's very, very exact.
And very
the technology in there is mind-blowing. I mean, it's if you've ever seen what they call CNC molding, the technology in that tiny little thing is what makes it all possible. And it just consistently gives. So we can say to the computer, I want this plant to get 12 milliliters of water at this time of the day. And make sure it gets
I'll
it.
do that.
And then it does it. And then it goes not, because the soil isn't real soil, it goes right into that.
That's right.
Those little, what did you call those feeders?
So this is the drippers
Dripper.
over here,
Right.
and then it goes, and if you can feel here, you can actually feel it's
feel.
quite hard. It's
literally.
that's where the roots are. So what we'll do is we train the plants. So every now and again, we'll just take this dripper and we'll move it. We'll do that. We'll take this one and we'll move it there. And the reason why we have these open is that we want to be able to walk in here when the water runs and check. Just realized. Sorry. Just realized I've got to go and turn the bells. We'll go back there in a minute.
Yeah.
And we want to see the water coming out.
Yeah.
Because if it was into the bag, we
You
couldn't
wouldn't see.
necessarily see
Yeah.
it. We want to see it dripping out. And
Just to make sure it's all okay.
that's it. That it's
And
all
then, do
working.
you see how much grows from that one little bag, right? And it's like, to do that in soil, wouldn't happen.
And this uses 70% less water than conventional farming.
70% less. That's huge.
And we measure everything. So we'll know scientifically this plant needs these nutrients at this stage of its life, and then we'll give it those nutrients at that stage of its life. And then we look at the plant. So
How good they look.
you can see, and you can say, you'll look at the leaf and you'll say, yeah, that leaf looks quite healthy, but sometimes they go a bit yellow, and then you'll have to look at it and you have to say, okay, that
Like down
plant is
here.
now this is what we call powdery mildew. And that happened, you can see it happened, so we'll work it out, how many weeks. It's three leaves a week on average. We've had quite hot weather, so it'll be four weeks. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 1 week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 weeks. 1, 2. So 4 weeks ago,
Yeah.
something went wrong.
And they can see
Okay,
on there.
and we can actually see what happened. Okay, and what went wrong was that we had a lot of rain. And the humidity climbed really high, but what they should have happened, we use a sort of an eco product called Texachlor, which will prevent this. And you've got to think ahead though. You can't wait until the problems hit you. So you've got to say, oh, a lot of rain, high
Coming up.
humidity, what I'm going to do, I need to put Texachlor on. So you can hear the guys spraying at the moment,
Yeah.
but they need to think ahead and they need to say, got to do this, and they got to spray. So they didn't spray in time. And then you got powdery mildew on the plants. So that's what that is. But generally what we do is we watch the growing tips of the plants to see, are they healthy, what's going on with the plants. And sometimes what we'll do is we'll take leaves off the plant and we send them away for analysis. And then they'll tell us what is the nutrient content of the leaves at that point in time. So they'll tell us it needs more nitrogen, needs more potassium, more sulfates, and they can tell us exactly. So it's a very, very exciting way of growing. Not just kind of like
Not
put the
just-
plants in the ground and hope for the best.
Right. It's totally efficient, and
Yep.
it's also the wave of the future because you can grow anywhere in like
Anywhere in the
places
world.
that don't have good soil. Do you see?
And then you can grow like different fruit, or like different like things in different times of year.
That's
that
Correct.
You wouldn't grow outside.
Right.
exactly
That's
it.
exactly. And then you get the price
Right, because
advantage.
because
Mr. Juma.